All right, what's up, guys? This is Chris Langell from Advisor Evolve. This is episode 4 of the Digital Advisor podcast. You can check out this episode and other episodes at advisorevolve.com/podcast. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud and Stitcher and whatnot. So be sure to check us out. Today, I'm pumped, man, to have on the show. It's funny. The story is going to be funny, but Robert Dawson from 360 Your Business. And we're going to talk a lot today about visual marketing and visual media. But Robert was one of the top digital media consultants for AT&T Advertising. He also was a digital marketing consultant for a big radio station in the Baltimore and Philly area, Radio One. And he recently left the corporate world to start his own business, which is called 360 Your Business. And we'll talk a little bit about what Robert does. But Robert and I used to actually work together at AIG years ago. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because it's kind of a funny story. But Robert,
Absolutely.
man, thank you very much, man, for taking time out of your schedule. I know that you're a busy dude. You travel a lot, and thank you for coming on the show, man.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm pumped and excited and fired up too, man. I hope that your listeners are.
Yeah, man, no doubt. It's gonna be cool, and we're talking about something today that I think is gonna be, very beneficial for not just an insurance agency owner, but really any small business owner can benefit from what you do. And I know that you have a lot of clients, throughout the country, as do I. So, and basically, one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on here is there's a lot of reasons, really, but independent agency owners, when I'm doing websites for them, one of the things that they struggle with the most is, content creation, number one. Number two is visual media, pictures, video, those types of things. And so I wanted to get you on here, man, to talk about the value in that. I mean, I know the value in that, but I kind of wanted to hear your explanation of that. And before we get into that, though, I'll tell the audience really quick the story. So me and Rob, I started at AIG. That's how I started in the insurance business. So Rob is actually a former insurance producer as well, but we both started in the insurance industry at AIG, which this is pre-debacle, by the way. This is before they were selling.
Right.
This is before they were giving mortgages to like 6-year-olds and stuff. But no, so we both were like cubicle buddies. We were sitting there. We were like pit bulls on the phone, man. Me and him were like two of the best sales reps there. But it was just funny. It's just funny how this world works, man. That was I guess 2003, 2004, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago. It's just funny how this world works, how you circle back and you connect with people after all these years. So it was cool, man, to reconnect with you. And yeah, those were the good old days, man. AIG cubicles, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting better and better too, though.
Yeah. So tell me, man, a little bit about, what you're doing at 360 My Business. I know that you work with a lot of different industries and a lot of different, people across the country and stuff, but, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you think that it would, benefit an independent agency?
Yeah, absolutely. So 360 Your Business, my company, we work with small to medium businesses of all types, man. I have clients like Bob's Discount Furniture in the furniture business, to Sonic Drive-In, to your small mom and pop, plumber that we work with. But it's all about content creation, visual marketing. We help businesses to grow at the end of the day. What you're doing, Chris, you guys create great looking websites, with Advisor Evolve. I'm really impressed. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the line with you today, but I take a look at a lot of websites, and you guys do a really good job with making agencies look good and making advisors look good. So we just add to that and we complement that. So we'll come in and, a client might have a nice looking website. You could have the aesthetics could look good, but if you have pictures that suck or that look like crap, right?
Yep.
It really can affect your conversions and whether or not a customer or a client picks up the phone and calls your business. So we really help our clients to clean that stuff up. Even on social media, everything should look consistent, right? But one of our biggest things is the Google 360 that we do. So I'm actually one of the top Google trusted photographers in the country, and we do 360 virtual tours of everything from high-end restaurants to audiologists and medical offices to a law firm or an insurance agency. So someone right on Google, if they do a local search and they type insurance agents in York, Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia, PA, or Columbia, Maryland, where I'm located. It actually helps you to stand out from the competition. And not only will you have that Google Street View, which will do a new Google Street View for all of our clients, but they can click see inside and see your office. And it creates a comfortability with that prospective client, makes it easy for them to see where you're located and get a good feel for what the agency has to offer. And then beyond that, we can also, create some other visual assets that are extremely important, like team and staff photos, right? Some nice headshots that they can place on the website that can show their team to a prospective client to create that comfortability. All of that makes a difference in a business, right? If you don't have those things in place, you're missing out on opportunity. You're missing out on potential business. And we live in a visual world nowadays, right? We're in an Instagram, YouTube generation, and people want to see stuff. They don't want to read. People are lazy.
Exactly.
That's why if you go to ESPN, Chris, you go to CNN, you're going to see a video over top of an article, because people really want that. So we deliver that for our clients, and we do it on a really high level. And we're passionate about it. We're excited because if I can help a small to medium business grow by enhancing their vision, by enhancing their presence and their brand, then that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
No doubt, man. So I want to loop back on something that you said, and I've talked to you about this kind of off camera, but one of the biggest things that agency owners struggle with, like I said before, is content creation. But I'll ask an agency owner, hey, can you send me some headshots, or can you send me a team shot? And you'll be surprised, man. Even larger agencies, you would be surprised at the amount of agencies that don't have just headshots.
I believe that.
In my head, I'm thinking like, man, this is like a professional organization. Like, you should have headshots, you should have team photos that are, current. Some people send me headshots and stuff that are, 10, 12, 15 years old. And it just kind of gives it gives not only a bad representation, but it could give a false representation of who the agency is. And, from an online perspective, insurance is so competitive in Google. I mean, there's, so many independent shops, there's captive agents, there's direct writers that are all fighting for search engine rankings. And if you can have a 360-degree tour of the inside of your office, or a street view, and just dynamic, imagery, that is huge. It's huge. Absolutely. For, not just like that moment right there in Google, but that could obviously, it's going to boost your click through. People are going to see that video. They're going to click over to your website, which is going to lead to, give you a better opportunity for conversion. So it's not necessarily just the visual impact, but it's the SEO benefits, it's the conversion opportunities, and it all from, some imagery. And it's funny how much people struggle with that, and you have we all have cameras on our phones. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much to take a couple pictures of the inside of the office, but people just don't do it. Right. Obviously you do that on a much more higher level. I mean, I've seen some of your work, and it's incredible, man. I mean, seriously, I'm tempted to hire you. I'm probably going to hire you myself to do some stuff.
Thank you for sharing
that. No doubt. I mean, so like, tell me a little bit about like, the process of doing that, because I think independent agents, man, this could be a big thing. It could be a big thing. Like, if someone was to come and like order a package, I know that you do a lot of different, your pricing is different depending on what people want, but like, what is a typical like use case or the typical process? Like, people, they order it from the site. Do they call you? Like, what exactly, how does that flow through?
Yeah. So I actually like to speak to all of my clients or prospective clients. So it would start with a conversation, so I can find out what their needs, what their goals, what they want to highlight about their agency, to really find out what's important to them and what their needs are, right? Because I want to make sure that we're serving those needs. That's what you guys do on the website with the website customization and development. So usually we would have a conversation, find out, do you have staff photos? Do you have team photos? Where's the office located? I'll do a little research. I can look on Google. A lot of times my clients, they'll have like a crappy street view shot. Like, I had a restaurant that I shot recently. There was a newer restaurant, and their street view was a pile of construction.
Yeah, or
Like it was dirt.
some dude out there like smoking a cigarette or something like right in front
Yeah,
of the
exactly,
door.
right? And that's obviously not a good representation of your brand. I've
Right.
had medical practices and offices that I've shot where their Google Street View has a big tree in front of it and people can't see the building, right?
Yeah,
That makes a difference. If someone, especially the millennials, that 18 to 34 crowd,
no
they're
doubt.
Street Viewing everything. They want to see where they're going before they go there. Even the older demographic, does it. Funny story, I'll just kind of throw it out to you. I had a client that I landed, they've been in business for 30 plus years. And they were looking at a commercial property in Laguna Beach, California, Chris, right? And this guy is like 55, 60 years old, right? And he's street viewing. He's 60 years old, doing a street view, looking at this commercial property. And he clicks and it takes him on the inside. And it like tripped him out. And he's like, oh, this is awesome. I didn't know this exists. And he contacted me and he called me and he got the Google virtual tour, the 360 done for the inside of his business. Because he was a user, even at 55, 60 years old, right?
No doubt, man.
So how much more do agencies need stuff like this? They need it to be able to make it convenient for people to find their office, and then they can see the inside, and it creates that comfortability, especially if you have a nice looking office. Even if you don't, I mean, you can spruce it up a little bit to make it look good.
Even if you don't, it's still, there's still so many people that are not doing this that even if you don't have the best interior of your office, you're still going to differentiate yourself in Google.
Exactly.
It helps you from a physical standpoint, but it also helps you in a digital stand. It's helping, both the digital and the physical sales funnel.
Absolutely. So that process again is just a simple, 15, 20-minute conversation over the phone, find out what the agency's needs are. At that point, we'll customize a package based on their needs. So typically the Google 360 would include some high-res interior photos of their office, also include some new storefront images as well, pictures of their signage, things like that. And then if they have additional needs, we can do other things like we do client testimonial videos where we'll come in and maybe they have a few different clients that have been happy, been with them for years.
That's huge.
We'll come in and in one day, in 2-3 hours, 4 hours max, we can shoot multiple testimonial videos that now you guys, Advisor Evolve, can put it on the website, put it under the testimonial page. How much stronger is that if instead of reading some testimonials that most people won't read, they could see videos of your clients talking about their experience with the agency, how great it's been, how they've been insured with them for years, how they took care of a claim. That's big. People don't care what you have to say about you. They care what other people have to say about you. So we do different things like that, Chris. So that would be the process. Find out what the needs are, and then we customize a package to their needs, and then we get it done and execute.
So the big thing with testimonials, right? I want to kind of stay on this for a second. When we do a site, in fact, all of our designs we display testimonials on all of our different designs for our agency customers, right? And obviously, social proof like that is a huge psychological trigger that we want to make sure is on each homepage of the site. And this is another area where agents struggle. We ask them all the time, hey, can you send us, 4 or 6 testimonials? But we don't just want a testimonial from, John P. We want a testimonial with a person's headshot, and we want their full name, because it's not believable if it's just the person's first name and their last initial and no picture. So
I see it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, who is John P? I mean, seriously, is that even a real testimonial? There's no. You're better off. You're seriously better off just not even having the testimonial than to have one that looks like it could potentially be fake. So yeah, and so I say that because if you had the ability to have video testimonials, I mean, not only is video obviously keep people on the page longer, which is another SEO metric, but to see a video testimonial as opposed to just a text-based testimonial, I mean, is huge. It's huge, man. I mean, seriously.
Absolutely. But no, I love what you guys do. I saw that on your site, and I'm actually taking that and I'm going to put the photos with the testimonials, because at least you have that visual there. You have a photo of the person, which, by the way, Aiden, just a little tip. A lot of times, if they're a business professional, you can pull it right off of LinkedIn, just so you know. Exactly. And then include their full name with the permission from the client. And you may have seen I have some testimonials. I include testimonials in a lot of my collateral that marketing collateral. Guys, this is extremely important. You got to do this stuff. When you have a client that's happy, they just got a quote and you saved them, $500 a year on their insurance, that's the moment that you say, oh, by the way, I know you're really happy. Would you mind emailing me a quick 2 to 3 sentence testimonial so I can put that on my website? I like to let other clients and prospective clients know about the job that we do here, and I really would appreciate it. Clients love that type of stuff. They'll do it. So just want to encourage you guys. That's something that right now doesn't cost anything that you can apply to your business right now. And then you can hire Chris, and he's going to spruce it up and make it look good. And then you can hire 360 Your Business, and we'll add the video aspect to it.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about, and that's true, obviously, by the way, that's a big deal. Talk to me a little bit about, like, I know that you service like the tri-state, like Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, PA kind of thing, but you also are involved with like a network. So, because the reason I ask this is because we have people, Advisor of All, we have clients that are in California, from California to Florida. So how would that work? Somebody was like, hey, I want to do this. Like, this sounds awesome, but I'm not in Maryland or whatever. Like, you have a network of people that you would run point. Basically, you would be the point guard, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, because I have clients all over the country. So, like a Bob's Discount Furniture, 67 locations are expanding to 300. If it's on a local level, if it's Maryland, DC, Virginia, Delaware, New Jersey, typically I'll be involved. I'll do the shoot. But I have a network of photographers and videographers nationwide. So we could shoot an agency in Los Angeles, California, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We can get it done, and we handle all the execution, the fulfillment of it, to make sure that it's quality and that we meet the needs of the agency or of the client or the business owner that we're working with.
That's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, and obviously with social and it, we talk about visual marketing and visual media. The way that it's prioritized now in social media is huge. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you post an update to your business Facebook page, you're going to be very lucky to get 6% engagement, meaning that Facebook is filtering out a majority of your traffic because they want you to pay. That organic reach is like 12% if there's imagery or video. So your reach is so much greater when you use visual media, when you use visual marketing. And the one thing I want to point out is there's tools out there that kind of will help you shortcut. I see a lot of people doing these like whiteboard animations from like Fiverr. Not that I think there's anything wrong with that. In some ways, I think that it can cheapen your brand a little bit if if you're using a tool like that. I think it has its place. I don't think it's bad or anything like that. In fact, it's better than not having anything. But if you had to pick between something like that versus like professional video, obviously a professional video and stuff is going to be more expensive, but the return on investment, you know what I mean? And the engagement and the conversion opportunities that you will have, compared to like a do-it-yourself type of thing, in my opinion, is well worth the money. I mean, I'm not just saying that. I mean, I plan on doing a lot of video stuff this year for Advisor Evolved myself. So, I would much rather see agencies, have an authentic type of presence as opposed to, something that, they paid somebody $10 or something to make up on. Again, it's better than nothing. But I think what you're doing with 360 Your Business, I mean, obviously the cost is higher, but so is the return on investment,
Absolutely. And to your point about social media, Facebook, there's a statistic that's out there that posts with images get 2 to 3 times more engagement than those without, right? So it's definitely key that anytime you post something on social media, anytime that you want to add an image to that, and that draws the eye and pulls people in and creates more engagement as well. Definitely.
No doubt. So another thing that you talked about that I want to hit on is it was like, and it has something to do with an iPad, right? Like talk to me a little bit about that. I'll let you explain how that works, because I think this is actually could be a really good idea and something else that agency owners could look at and maybe include this in their package or whatever if they decide to do business with you.
Yeah, definitely. So at 360 Your Business, I mean, we obviously, videography and photography is our bread and butter. It's the biggest thing that we do. But outside of that, we do other things to serve our clients and to help make what they do more effective and to increase sales and revenue and ROI. So one of the things that we do is we do these iPad marketing kiosks. So one thing that I noticed over the years working with hundreds of small to medium businesses in all different industries, that a lot of advertisers and a lot of clients, they spend a lot of money and invest a lot of money in marketing to acquire new clients or customers, right? But they do very little to remarket to their existing customers, to upsell or to increase repeat business, right? So what we've done is we help them to build a database. So we create these iPad marketing kiosks. So when someone would come into your business, they can check in and register with either a cell phone number or an email. And then the first time they register, they put in their name. And what that does is it helps to build a really large database over time of customers and clients or patients, whatever industry you're in, to be able to remarket to those people, right? So now if you're going to be in an event locally, you can let them know about it. If you have a special promotion that's going on or a new product that you add to your agency or to your business, no matter what type of business you are, you can let those people know about it. And that helps to increase repeat business by keeping you top of mind. So when they're thinking, hey, I need an umbrella policy, or hey, I need another auto, insurance policy because my kids just, we just bought my child a car. She turned 18. They're thinking of you, right? Or they're thinking of your business, no matter what the industry. So we do that. And then if any of the agencies are out there do events, like maybe local community events, trade shows, any type of networking group, you can actually take the kiosk with you. We have a mobile unit and they can capture information. They can make it fun. They could do an enter to win through it. We can customize the graphic that's there to make it, brand it to their agency, brand it to whatever promotion they want. If they just wanted to say, hey, get our newsletter and get, special offers or new information about such and such agency, they can do that. We can completely customize it. And then again, they're able to send out those text and email blasts to that entire database as well. There's also a customer survey feature that I know we were talking about, Chris, that I think would be huge for agencies and anyone who's a small to medium business owner that's watching this. So, reviews online is extremely important. It's one of the determining factors in buying decisions, right? Whether I'm buying insurance or I'm going to a clothing store or picking a dentist, right? I'm looking at reviews. So one thing that we've done is we built a customer survey feature in there where if after someone does business with that agency or they enter in their information, maybe they sign up for a policy or they just met you at an event, they could get a customer survey feature that's a text message or an email that comes right to them. It's a quick, simple 5-star rating system. Hey, rate the quality, rate our staff today, rate the overall experience, any compliments or suggestions. If it's 3 stars or less, that email gets directly sent to the owner or the broker. Yeah, exactly. If they need to respond to it, that helps to deflect people from going to Google or Yelp and leaving a bad review about your business, which can really, impact income and revenue. And then if it's positive, though, get this, Chris, this is how we boost the positive reviews. If it's 4 stars or more, they get a bounce back page. It says, thanks for your great feedback. Please click any of the links below to share your good review on social media. Yeah. So that takes them directly to the Google review page, directly to Yelp, directly to Facebook to help boost their reputation and their reviews there to help increase, their business at the end of the day.
Right, which is huge. And I just had a conversation with somebody about this earlier today. And, if you had to pick one place to get customer reviews, you have to get them in Google. Like I know Yelp they're a player. Yelp is indexed in Google's index. Facebook reviews are good, but if you had to put your time and energy into getting reviews any one place, it would be on your Google profile. And there's a certain way that you have to go about doing this. So if you click a direct link over to the person's Google page and leave a review, that can look spammy to Google. So what you should be coaching people on, or the best way for an insurance agency to go about getting a review on Google is to literally tell the client to do a search for them and then leave the review. So don't click like a direct link, because that's a problem, not just with Google, but with Yelp and the other ones too, is that if there's a direct link, they know that you were told to go there. Hey, click this link. Those review engines, they want the review to be organic and natural.
No, that's good to know. And that goes back to the Google 360 and the high-res stills that we do for agencies, that anything you can get to help you stand out on Google is vital for your business. So
vital.
This with SEO, you probably know this better than I do, Chris, but back me up on this. 3 of the most determining factors, obviously there's a lot of things that Google looks at and they're always changing their algorithms and their secret sauce.
Yep.
But 3 of the big things are photos, video, and reviews. So if I'm doing a local search and I type insurance agents, in my city or near me, Google's going to look at, when they're determining who they're going to rank in that organic portion or in the local maps, they're going to look at the reviews that you have. They're going to look at, do you have photos of your office, right? Do you have a good street view? Do you have that 360 virtual tour of the inside? And that can help to increase your ranking when someone's doing a search by increasing your views, by having great photos there. That's really, really important to know. So that's something that we help with. And we can just tie that in to what Chris is doing for you if you're working with him, because we can also embed that Google 360 on your website as well, which helps with time spent on site or dwell time.
Yep.
Which that's a factor that Google looks at to decide, okay, is your insurance agency or is your business, whether you're a restaurant, a salon, a dentist in your area, are people spending time on your website? Or, you know, once they hit the site, is what they're finding, is it relevant? Is it engaging, right? So imagine someone hits your homepage and they got that 360 virtual tour of your office and they start checking out, where are they located? Let me see their office. That's increasing that time spent on site. That's helping to increase your organic rank. That's helping to increase the SEO on your website. Am I right about that, Chris?
Yeah. So the way that dwell time is, or time on page, that's a major metric with Google going forward.
Okay.
And they really look at how long people are spending on a site, and there's no better way to, you know, help that metric than with visual media, you know, images and testimonials and video and stuff like that. So that is a huge metric in, you know, and the other part of this is that, you know, with an insurance agency, there's so many insurance agencies out there and that are competing for rankings. If you want to be listed in a 3-pack, so if you search for a local business and they show up in the Google 3-pack, which is like a listing of like the top 3 local businesses, one of the best ways to get in the 3-pack is with, you know, with activity in Google. So testimonials, and if you have the 360 degree tour, that will help that metric. So it's a good thing, man. It's a great thing for people to be doing. I mean, honestly, it's that's why I was so pumped, man, to have you on, because I was like, wait a second, like this could be a huge thing for insurance agencies.
A game changer, a game changer. Because I guarantee you, if some of your clients and those that are watching or listening to this start to do this stuff ahead of the curve, ahead of everyone else in the industry doing it, it's going to make a big difference for their business. So we're here to help, right?
No doubt, man. And that's something that I talk to people about all the time. I do a presentation. It's called the Digital Domination, right? I've done it a couple of times. And one of the slides in that presentation talks about the like the buy or what's it called? The adaptation cycle or whatever. Like, you know, when a new technology comes out, you know, you have the early adopters, and then you all the way to the laggards, you know what I mean? And there's so many people in our business in the independent insurance space. And it's to no fault of their own. Sometimes people just don't know where to get started, but there's a lot of laggards in our space. So as old as this business is, there's still so much opportunity for people to differentiate themselves. And this is a great way to do it, man. I mean, seriously, it really is.
Absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about, you know, one of the things that people are going to ask, you know, they're going to listen to this or watch the video and be like, this sounds sick, but like, what does this typically cost? You know, what are some, you know, roundabout numbers? I guess I know it really depends on, you know, what their package is and like what they want to do and stuff, but try to give us like an idea of like what a typical, you know, a typical package looks like what is the average business owner order, and like what is the average cost, would you say, if you had to throw some numbers out there?
So instead of an average, I'll give you a range, because it's definitely a range.
Okay.
Cool. So obviously there's different things that we do on the visual marketing side, right? You got the Google 360, you got the still photos, you got the headshots, the team photos, you got the videography side of it, which would be like client testimonial videos. We do something called a business profile video, which really every business watching or listening to this needs. That's a nice 60 to 90 second video that we put on your homepage, or that Chris would put on your homepage, that they do for Advisor Evolved, that really speaks to who you are, what you do, why you do it, right? Sure. In a nice 90 seconds, 2-minute max. People want that. They don't want to have to read the whole, you know, 2-page about us page anymore. They want a nice short and sweet about you guys, what you do and how you do it. So Chris, we do that type of stuff, right? So obviously, depending upon what the agency wants or what the business wants, we're going to customize it to that. But just to give you a range, the Google 360, if we were to just do that in some high-risk stills of their office, that could start as low as about $799.
Okay.
Which is a one-time fee, which is great, right? It's not like an ongoing expense. There is an annual. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a small annual like hosting support licensing fee of like 99 bucks, but that's real minimal. But it could be on the higher end, would be more in the 2,500 to $3,000 range. Just
Okay.
again, depending upon what we're doing for the business owner or for the client.
Yeah.
But I want everyone, you know, watching this or listening to know that we're here to work with you. We're here to help you any way that we can. So let's even just open up the conversation, you know, engage with us. Go to 360yourbusiness.com, fill out the contact form, or you can email me directly at Robert, you know, at 360yourbusiness.com. I'd be glad. I'd love to engage with you, you know, find out what some of your goals, your needs are, and we can definitely talk. You know, we can even create packages that maybe we start somewhere, right? We start with the Google 360 and some photos of their office, and we can always expand. I'm big on baby steps. You know, let's start somewhere. It's better to do 50% of something in business than 100% of nothing, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So we're definitely here. I want to make that clear, that don't just hear a price or, you know, feel like you're sticker shock. We're here to work with you. So reach out to us and we'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, even on the high end of that, I mean, that's still very manageable in my mind. I mean, for what you would be doing, for the engagement and the SEO value and the conversion opportunities, and even if it wasn't something that you got immediate ROI on, it's still brand expansion, it's still brand equity, it's still, you're still building your brand, and you're doing it in Google, which is the most important place to do it. So
yeah,
I mean, even if it was $3,000 or 3,500 or whatever, I mean, in my mind, that's a small price to pay to have a professional service come to you. I mean, I remember back in the day, man, getting pictures and stuff. My mom would drag me into like what was it called, like Orland Mills or something like that, And I remember that being like a couple $100. I mean, you come out to them and to do this stuff, and I've seen your work. I mean, if anybody's listening to this, seriously, head to his website, look at his portfolio. I mean, this guy is legit, and this is not like somebody who is coming out there with an iPhone or whatever. Like, it is serious. It is major league quality. So and it really, and especially for a smaller insurance agency, or maybe a mid-sized insurance agency that's trying to compete, it can really make a small business look a lot bigger and a lot more creditable and a lot more trustworthy. And those two things right there are huge for any small business, but especially insurance, where people are so price conscientious, and you need to be able to set yourself apart from the 500 other insurance agencies that are in your town. I mean, we do websites for people, and then all of a sudden we get like 3 other people from their town that hit us up, and they're like, we saw their site, like that's pretty nice, and I'm like, it's just amazing how many insurance agents are out there. It's like we're like ants, you know what I mean? Like, we like crawl out of, like, there's like, we just spread out, man. But no, I mean, your quality is really good, man.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that.
So yeah, no doubt. So talk to me real quick. We'll probably getting towards the end of this, but talk to me, I guess, a little bit about, you deal with a lot of different businesses. What are some of, I guess, maybe if you could name a couple mistakes that you see some of these businesses make? I mean, obviously the biggest one is to just not do anything, but is there like a pattern or something common that you like, common denominator that you see across these different businesses, like where you go into a business and you're like, all right, like, this is a problem everywhere I go? Like, what are some, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is good dialogue. 2 of the biggest things I would say is a scarcity mindset and passivity, if that's a word. And what I mean now, it is now. What I mean by that is that Chris, I've had the pleasure, man, of consulting and working with literally hundreds of businesses over the last 7-8 years since I've been in this digital media space. Everything from, again, plumbers to doctors to, lawyers to you name it, right? I've worked with them. And the most successful business owners are those that are aggressive about growing their business, aggressive about changing with the times and evolving, no pun intended, right? To stay up with the times and to stand out from their competition and to go after the new business with where you are and think you're going to continue to grow, right? So I would say that's the biggest thing, that when if you have a scarcity mentality and you're like, I don't want to do anything new. I don't want to do anything different. I don't want to do a Google 360 because, you know, it's just different. Who's going to use it? You know, I mean, you got to be doing this stuff because it's what your audience wants. It's what your customers want. It's what your clients want. So you got to be aggressive about growing and going after new business. I just did a Google 360 shoot for the top flooring Americas. It's a hardwood flooring business. He's been in business for over 30 years. And this guy said in the middle of a recession in 2010, Chris, he remodeled his entire showroom.
Yeah, that's major.
And spent literally probably tens of hundreds of thousands on remodeling his business and making it better. In the middle of a recession, when most people are saying, I'm going to scale back, he was going after new business, going after more business. And that's one of the biggest issues that I see, Chris. And, you know, we got to overcome that. We got to overcome that fear and that doubt and really go after it. Even if they're an agency, they've been in business for 15, 20 years, let's continue to grow. You may be thinking of retirement in 5, 10 years from now, but do you want to pass the business on to someone else? Do you want to sell it, right? Put yourself in a position to win. And if you're a new business and you may be thinking, well, I don't have the money. I don't have, we pay for things that we value. We invest in things that we truly value, right? That Starbucks that a lot of people buy every day for $4, right?
Yep, I do.
Add that up over the year.
I'm a sucker too. I'm a sucker for Starbucks.
Right. So does that make sense, though, man?
That's
one of the biggest I see. The lack of investment, you know, in themselves and in their business. You got to be willing to make the investment. And again, you may not be able to do it all overnight, but you can come to Chris and I and say, hey, this is what I do have. You know, I don't have a budget of $30,000 to invest on a website, but what can you do for me? And be willing to take those baby steps to help grow your business or expand and continue to evolve.
No doubt, man. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And that's one of those things, man, where we could apply this lesson to really any small business, but that is a major thing in the insurance space where, you know, our industry was built really on, you know, very kind of old school, you know, sales psychology, and now it's changing. And, you know, this is one of those things, and this is the reason why I named my company what I did, you know, Advisor Evolve. It's the evolution of the advisor. It's the evolution of the modern day insurance agent. And that's really what we have to do, man, is when we stop evolving, we die. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where, like you said, baby steps, even if it's, you know, starting with, you know, whether it be 360 your business or any other kind of marketing, you know, whether you're starting off with just, you know, team shots and headshots, whether you're just starting off with creating a Twitter profile, whether you're starting off with, you know, writing a blog article each month, like the point is, man, just start somewhere and, you know, continue to grow and evolve, and good things will happen, you know?
Definitely. You mentioned, I'll just touch on the evolve piece. I came across a case study that I shared with my team. I used to do a lot of training when I was in the radio business with my team, and I'm still doing some of that. But I came across a graphic that talked about the technology space with smartphones, right? Back in, I think it was 2007, 2008, BlackBerry owned upwards of like 25 to 50% of the market of smartphones, right? And if you look at that chart now,
like
as
2%, no,
like 2%, no, literally, yes,
is it really?
like 2%, right? But it's a prime example of how if you don't evolve, you dissolve.
Exactly.
If you don't evolve, to your point, you die, right? So you got to constantly be progressing and advancing your business, and like you take those baby steps, grow, because otherwise you're going to die. So we're here to help you grow. And we're here to help you evolve. And you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know how social media works or how to make a website, right? Or how a virtual tour is shot and published to Google. You just need to get the right people around you, like Chris, like you, Chris.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man.
And we'll help you, right? You get the right people around you that know what you don't know, and you can grow your business and you can expand.
That's what I'm big on, man. Surround yourself with people who know more than you do.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. So tell the people listening, man, where they could find you online. I know you have a website, whatever your social media handles are. Where can people find Mr. Robert Dawson and 360 Your Business? Yeah,
so you can personally connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm a big LinkedIn guy.
Okay.
So if you just go to linkedin.com/Robert S. like Sam Dawson, you'll be able to find me. You can go to 360yourbusiness.com or bringcustomersinyourdoor.com, because that's what we do.
Nice.
And you can engage with us there. Social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you check out our Facebook page in particular, we post a lot of our work and recent shoots that we've done. And then also you can email me directly at Robert at 360yourbusiness.com, and I'd love to engage with you that way as well.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much, man, for coming on. I hope people listening today, I hope some of these people hit you up, man, because I see it every day, man. People need help with this stuff, and I think this could be a big deal. Like I said, for the physical sales funnel and also the digital sales funnel. So I appreciate you, man, coming on. And for everybody listening, this episode will be on the podcast probably in the next hour. You can see this episode, any other episodes, advisorevolve.com/podcast. And is like I said before, we're on iTunes and some of the other podcast networks as well. So Robert, thank you again, my man. And I'm sure we'll probably be having you on the show again in the future. So
I'd love to be back. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Get ready for that, man.
And I love what you're doing, man. Keep helping these agencies and advisors to grow, because that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.